preparing to live stream, so we can just keep loading. Meanwhile, let us know where you're from, what role do you play in tech in the chat, and what you're looking forward to most this weekend. I'm still waiting for the progress bar. It's almost there, so we'll get started very, very soon. And yes, turn on your cameras. We really want to like pretend we're in the same room and get to know each other more. Awesome. So we are now live. Welcome to Product Splash, organized by our lovely communities, Product Buds and Design Buddies, two of the largest product management and design communities in the world, formed during the pandemic, 1 month apart. And so welcome to our 5-week product management and design immersive program. During this opening ceremony, we'll start off with Keynote with Brian Lin, who is a director of design at Thriver. Brian has also spoken with us at Design Buddies and is also really active in our Discord. So we have a surprise coming up very, very soon. And then we'll learn a little bit more about Design Buddies and Product Buds, two of our orgs organizing this wonderful program for all of y'all, and meeting our sponsors and mentors who will be helping us throughout this event, and revealing our whole schedule, and also doing a group photo in a way for Instagram story. More details dropping soon, but make sure you have our background so we can twin of all of us and our photo. And then we'll reveal our theme, which you'll be super excited for. And deliverable and prize reveal for all of you. And then we'll end with a Q&A. And don't worry, we haven't found yet, but we'll have a team matching event after this at 6 p.m. Pacific, or right after this 1-hour opening ceremony, in case y'all haven't found a team yet. So that's going to be available for you. But before we start, here's Fluffle Bud. It's a character I designed. It's Fluffle Bud. It's like Fluffle is Design Buddy's mascot, and we have a sprout with Product Bud. So Fluffle is coming up with product ideas right now. So Fluffle Bud. Yeah, say Fluffle Bud in the chat if you like Fluffle Bud. And I also forgot to introduce myself, but I'm Grace. I founded Design Buddies, and full-time, I am a product designer at Electronic Arts. So with that, we'll hand it off to Brian.
Awesome. Thank you, Grace. I appreciate that. That was a wonderful intro. Just gonna get my screen shared. 1 second, everyone. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Little Fluffle Bud peeking out from the bottom right there. Very good. Okay, well, first of all, thank you, Product Buds and Design Buddies, for asking me to give you the opening keynote as part of this Product Splash immersive program. It's an honor to be here. I really hope these next 15 minutes are going to be insightful and inspirational for all of y'all who have been accepted. So kind of with that, let's just take a moment, just celebrate everybody who has been accepted into this cohort. It is not an easy thing. I know there was a lot of applicants, so please give yourselves a pat on the back. Congratulations. It's a great investment in yourself and your future, so well done. Moving on to the actual keynote itself, a little bit of myself. So as Grace introduced, I am the director of design at Thriver. I'm dad. That's my son there, Damien. He's a lot bigger now and a lot rounder. I'm a mentor. I'm also really huge into food, and I spin music when my son is not bothering me. So something that I enjoy doing a great deal. On the professional side of things, I've been practicing design in its many forms for over 2 decades. Been really running the gamut across different industries, different company types, different verticals in different cities. So a lot of interesting experiences that I'd love to share in Discord. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to reach out. Always open to chatting. So without further ado, when Grace asked me to give this keynote, I did ask myself what it is that would be an interesting topic for everyone in this room today. And really, I think the fundamental question that a lot of people have is, how does one go about creating a great product? And you know, the typical answer, of course, is you go through the product design process, and it is something, of course, that should be respected and followed. But when you kind of break it down into some of the more nuanced things, and I thought a little bit more deeply about it, it really led me to 2 main themes that I think people really genuinely need to possess in order to be successful, to separate just the good products from the great products. So let's get into what that means. I want to talk about naivety for a second, everybody, with everybody here, because naivety is usually framed as a bad thing, right? So that definition at the bottom there of being defined as someone who doesn't really know what they don't know, right? They approach things with this lack of sophistication, lack of understanding. But I would actually say that naivety, especially when you're aspiring, when you're fresh, and entering or transitioning into an industry like design, is actually a good thing, because you are approaching this with a mindset that's it's a lot more open, unbiased to potential solutions. So really, it's about naivety as a mindset and approaching what it is, this journey, this 5-week journey and beyond in your careers, with this open mind. And everybody, knows Steve Jobs and how he famously talks about being present, and he actually does speak about naivety in a very positive way. He talks about how naivety, when you first sort of approach a problem, you very naively think that solution that you're going to come up with is going to be super simple, right? Solving world hunger, not a problem. Could do that. It's a solution simple, just have more food. But what that means is it at least spurs your curiosity in a manner for product people to go down this path of discovery, right? You start down this path where you start to uncover things. And what's interesting about that is the opposite starts to happen. So no longer will you become naive over time as you go deeper and deeper and deeper. You actually begin to understand much more deeply a lot of the peripheral challenges that exist, and that the problem that you're trying to solve is a lot more complex than you initially thought out to do. And that's fine, and that'll carry you for a little while. But as you continue, when you have this complex understanding, what that inevitably actually leads you to is this set of complex solutions that you execute on, right? So you and your team execute on these complex solutions, and you land on something that is great and comprehensive. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad thing to do this. But here's the thing. Most people who build good products stop here, right? So the problem itself is not that it's not being addressed anymore. It's just the continual evolution of the solution slows down, and it becomes, it's still a complex solution, still comprehensive, money still being made, fine, not a big deal. But that leads me to the second theme. So naivety is the first. And the second theme that I thought was really interesting, that I think people should definitely possess, is faith. And what do I mean by faith? Not in the religious context. Well, maybe a little bit, but it's intentional iteration, right? It's this idea that you are not just happy with a complex, comprehensive solution. It's that you go beyond that. In order to go beyond that, you need to embrace this idea that I want to get to the other side of that complexity, right? So what is the opposite of complexity? Simplicity. It can still be complex, but it can feel much more simple than that first solution that you came up with. So if you push hard enough for long enough, and you iterate and you validate and you go through that process in the first slide there of the product design process, you reach this the other side of complexity, this level of simplicity that actually starts to feel naively obvious. Interesting, right? So you get to this other end where you come to this other side, you've done all of your due diligence with you and your team, and you look at the solution, you're like, this is so obvious. That's why you have companies like Apple and all these other brilliant companies up at the top of the mountain. When you look at the solutions that they produce, they look so obvious, but it took them thousands of hours to get there. And this is something, I think, these two things we should always remember and never, ever forget. Okay. So what the most simple way to think about, if there's one thing that you take away from this keynote, is that complexity is not a bad thing. But when you get to the end of that tunnel, it gives way to what I like to call informed simplicity. It's not just simplicity, it's informed. All right. So what does that all mean for what you guys are going to be doing for the next 5 weeks and beyond? We had talked about faith. I know I mentioned it wasn't so much about religion. I don't know. I like to call the 3 points of this triangle the Holy Trinity. And why I call it that is because there needs to be faith and trust and respect for each of these disciplines. So product with the respect for design and engineering, design, product, engineering, engineering, design, and product. What that translates to is being respectful of each other's domain and expertise. So when you are forming your teams and when you are working together, be very clear about what it is that each of you bring to the table. Be intentional about who it is that makes the decisions on what, and be respectful of that, because that is what leads to great product design. Great products at the end of the day is each person pulling their weight in the right scope of what it is that you're building. The best product teams trust each other. Okay, so it's really, really important. And then lastly, kind of just to wrap up this keynote and pass it back over to Grace and the rest of the crew. Naivety and faith are not just 2 points, 2 themes in this presentation. It also is a reflection of the work that we do. It's also a reflection of who you are as an individual and as a team. And what I mean by that is, if you look outside, or if you look beyond this room, beyond this group of people, beyond just product, not everybody can be a product person. Not everybody is willing to go through the trials and tribulations of a product design process to create something at the end of the day that will change lives. Because every decision that you are all making will affect lives. So if you really want to create something innovative, you have to be really intimately, you have to really understand what is broken, right, with the thing that you're trying to fix. And then be willing enough to suffer through. I use the word suffering. It is, you have to spend enough time in this state of brokenness to understand it in order to see that informed simplicity at the end of that tunnel. And that requires a naivety and a faith that not a lot of people possess in conjunction with each other. So I just want to say, everyone in this call right now has, by default, by just being here, by signing up for this, has chosen to embrace naivety and to have faith in your own futures. So keep challenging yourself to continue to learn, to have that naive mindset, and never lose that faith in the process. Thank you for listening, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was great. Definitely don't feel bad for being naive. Everything's a learning journey, and definitely also trust your team. And also the balance of product design engineering. And yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And we're all learning and innovating together as well. And I see some love in the chat as well. Thank you so much. Cool. I posted some Instagram stories, so if y'all saw me like with my phone, that's what I was doing. So yeah, thank you so much. Cool.
That's my pleasure. Thanks for having me. And thank you everybody for all the love. I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm gonna share our slides again. Cool, right on time too. Great timing. Cool. So now I'm going to do about us organizers. So Design Buddies, let me know in the chat if you are in Design Buddies. Just say Fluffle in the chat if you're in our Discord server. Say Fluffle. Fluffle. Yes. Fun fact. Yes. Yes, the Fluffle. Okay. So it's Fluffle Bud is our mascot. But Design Buddies is an inclusive design community where all designers or anybody interested in design belongs. And we provide a lot of resources, events, mentorship, and more. Brian Lin is also a mentor in our community too. He has also given a talk with us on self-awareness as the most important design skill. So you can actually watch that on our YouTube channel. This is like back last fall, but it's available out there. If you're not in Design Buddies yet, you can join us at our Discord link. It's also in the About Organizers page on Discord. And you can visit our website. And this is Fluffle, our friendly bunny mascot. And fun fact, Fluffle's favorite food is beans. Remember that because that's used as trivia for some giveaways we have with other events too. So beans and Fluffle. With that, I'll turn over to Kelsey for Product Buds.
Yeah, hi everyone. Welcome to the cohort. We're so excited to have you over these 5 weeks. I'm Kelsey, and you may have seen my name somewhere in emails and Discord, but I'm on the Product Buds team and helping lead Product Splash from the Product Buds side. So we are a inclusive community for aspiring product people, whether you're a product manager or you're in product strategy or really anything related to product. And our goal is to expand access and create access to opportunities and product. So if you're in the Product Buds community, so in our Slack or on our newsletter, drop Product Buds or just Buds in the chat, whatever you like. And yeah, if you're interested in product management, we have many product management events, fellowships that we hold regularly throughout the year. So do join us at the link, as well as any of our websites, our socials should all be plugged in the chat. And yeah, we're really excited to get to know all of you better and stay engaged with you all.
Awesome. Thanks, Kelsey. And speaking of socials, we will have many social media giveaways every single week, actually. So make sure we have a hashtag at the end. So stay till the end to learn more. But definitely follow us on socials to be the first to find out. So right now we'll take some time to recognize our sponsors, mentors, and organizers for making all this possible for all of y'all today, all of you Fluffle Buds today. And Adobe XD is our tool we'll be using. So disclaimer in the chat, I saw on Discord that it's 7 days. So I'm working to get a code. So we'll have a code so we can have more access to it, probably 3 or 6 months. So just because they recently made the changes to being not free overall. So that's why. But yeah, so that's I just want to address that really quick. But Adobe XD is actually really good at prototyping. It's like a really intuitive and powerful UI UX design tool for designing websites, apps, voice interfaces, game interfaces, email templates, and more. I've also tried designing some social media graphics in there, so it can be for that too. But XD is great. You can try it for free at adobe.com/XD, and it also comes with a Creative Cloud server, Creative Cloud plan. Adobe XD has been a huge supporter of Design Buddies as well. We had many workshops with them, so really appreciate them for supporting our event. And our next sponsor or partner is ADP List. They're helping us get some mentors and judges here. But ADP List is the community based on connection and inclusivity, a platform where people can find, book, and meet mentors around the world. So if any of y'all are in need of a design mentor or product mentor, they have people who volunteer on their website where you can sign up to book time pro bono. So adplist.org. It also hosts a lot of great events like this as well. And Kelsey, do you want to go for Women in Product?
Yeah, sure. So Women in Product is a really welcoming, really global community of women in product, and basically uplifting women and celebrating women in product. And they host a lot of activities, they host meetups, they host event fairs, as well as a conference every year, particularly targeted towards people interested in product, as well as people already in product. And we're very grateful to them for offering us a lot of mentors, as well as just pubbing this event to people who can support us this time around.
Yeah, of course. Really quick, host says everyone in the waiting room. Make sure you're talking in everyone. Couldn't reach you, but if anyone wants to chat on Zoom, make sure it's to everyone, not everyone in the waiting room. So we have our wonderful workshop speakers here today. Diana, Kaibalia, Yuri, Nico, Kendrick, Matt, Charlene, Alicia, and Clement. You'll be seeing them through hosting our workshops to help you level up in your product and design skills throughout these 5 weeks. So the schedule will be announced very soon, and you have access to this as well. So yeah, shout out to them for helping us just give their knowledge to our wonderful Fluffle Bud community. And we also have mentors here, a lot of from Adobe. So shout out to Adobe XD for providing us with so many mentors. So we have Val, Talon, Hillary, Lars, Matt, Alex, James, Natasha, who is actually on my team at EA, who actually reached out to me wanting to mentor. So really shout out to Natasha. She actually did a lot of talks with Design Buddies. I actually worked closely with her at EA. So shout out to her and Matthew. So yeah, thank you so much to our design mentors and Kelsey for product mentor.
Yeah, so for PM mentors, again, a lot of them were sourced from women in product, and we're really, really grateful to them, to WIP for sourcing a lot of our PMs. But I'll just read out the list really quick. Anish, Kendrick, Jenny, Ananya, Tansi, Calvin, Kelly, Nishakorn, Harley, Everin, Saba, and Prashamsa. Thank you so much for being with us to be mentors. And yeah, a lot of you will expect to see them in office hours later on.
Oh, I'm no worries. Yeah, thank you so much to our organizers, both our buddies from Product Buds and Design Buddies. You'll see them all on Discord as well, but Ami, Callum, Charmaine, Dario, Darsh, Doris, me, Henrika, Jack, Jess, Kelsey, Kunal, Lisa, Maggie, Marika, Milup, Nabil, Nadia, Minty, he goes by Minty, Uju, and Vasant. So shout out to all of y'all for making all this possible. Everyone's on either Design Buddies or Product Buds team. So yeah, cool. So I hand over Kelsey for the schedule.
Yeah, for sure. So I hope all of you are really excited for how these next 5 weeks are going to go. We're surely very excited. So we're going to go over really quick how each week is going to go. So first off, week 0, which is pretty much the week that we're in right now that just kind of passed. Basically, this week is designed for you guys to find teams and find those good complementary teammates. So as some of you came out to the July 13th team matching, round 1 event, and that was so exciting. So right now we're at the kickoff with our opening ceremony and Brian. And then right after this, we'll be hosting a second round of team matching for those who are still looking for teams. So do come through and join us and just get to know your fellow participants if you're still looking for teams. Yeah, and then next week, we'll be looking at 2 workshops. So on July 19th, we'll have an Intro to PM a Design panel. So you'll be learning a lot about just the introductory product management design best practices, and it'll be kind of a Q&A open panel. And then July 23rd, we'll have a workshop from Kendrick on design thinking, problem validation, and data. Yeah, and then the week after that, July 29th, we'll have an Intro to Adobe XD workshop for those who are looking to gain some skills in Adobe XD. We'll also be hosting a solution ideation, defining MVP, and product intuition workshop on July 30th. Yeah, and as a side note, all the exact times will be released on Discord as well. Yeah, and then week 3, 1 workshop on prototyping in Adobe XD and another workshop on user testing and prototype iterations as you all with your teams continue to user test and prototype your solutions. And then week 4, there'll be a workshop hosted on crafting a winning pitch, since as part of the deliverable, you'll also be submitting some slide decks, which we'll go over a little later. And then on August 15th, your final submissions are due. So we'll also be going over what that entails and what your submissions should look like a little bit later on in this ceremony. And then finally for week 5, it'll be pitch day, which a lot of you have been asking about, and we're super excited for this kind of closing wrap-up ceremony where we all get to share your really exciting projects, and we all get to celebrate all the wonderful work you all will have completed by the end of the 5 weeks. Grace, you're muted, by the way.
Yes, the Zoom Live at 2020, you're muted. But yeah, it's time for our group photo. So I'm gonna stop sharing and count down for people to turn their camera. It's so great seeing all of y'all repping our Zoom background. So it could be dropped again in the chat if anyone doesn't have it. But yeah, workshop will be around 1 hour to 30 minutes. But thank you, Jack, for answering some questions in the chat. But I'll give it 10 seconds for people to turn on the camera. There are multiple screens, so we'll do a static photo first and then a wave for our Instagram story. Any one of y'all are welcome to take photos, post them on Instagram, Twitter, or LinkedIn, tag Product Buds and Design Buddies, use the hashtag product/2021, and we all make sure to engage and repost and like all of your photos too. So yeah, definitely feel free to take any screenshots in this event, share them on socials, share Brian's keynote takeaways in socials, tag all of us as well. We want to know what you're all learning from this. And with that, I think like that's enough time for people to turn on their camera. So round one be static. So stay static first, and I'll do a wave for Instagram story. You know, make sure to tag Product Buds so y'all can be shared too. So say cheese, just keep smiling so I can get all the pages. Say Fluffle Buds. Fluffle Buds. Stay smiling. Say Fluffle Buds. Fluffle Buds. Wow, so many Fluffle Buds in here. All right. Okay, one last page. Keep holding, keep holding. All right, you can do a wave. You can bring your stuffed animals. You can dance, you can dab. This is just to like spice things up in the middle of our event so we can feel energized for the last part of it. So, all right, ready, set, you can wave, you can dance. All right, I'm gonna hover over so I get all the pages. Hello, everyone. We are with Product Buds and Design Buddies for our product/opening ceremony. These are all of our wonderful Fluffle Buds here today. And thank you so much, Brian Lin, for giving our wonderful keynote. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna save the video to make sure it's saved and posted. With that, I'm gonna start sharing my screen again. So we're going to hand it off to Kelsey for the theme and deliverable review.
Yeah, so this is super exciting. A lot of you have been asking, what will our theme be? What will the project look like? And we are so excited to share this with you guys.
Drum roll.
Yeah, drum roll, please.
Drum roll.
As much as you can.
Drum roll. You can make the sound effects in the chat as well, but ready? Buckle up, because you're about to be blown away. Make sure you fasten your seatbelts, arms, legs inside the cart. I always say my dad jokes. And now, you know what you've been waiting for. Buckle up, make sure hands, feet inside the cart, because you're about to be blown away. Oh, Kels. Oh, keep drum rolling.
Oh yeah, keep those drum rolling. Yeah, so our theme is going to be healing from the pandemic. We're going to be releasing more details in a much more detailed prompt document, but we know that this past year has been tough on many different levels, not only with the social isolation at home, but also the unfathomable losses that a lot of communities have suffered during this past year. And we, as we're transitioning into, perhaps a hopeful new future, we want all communities to, go into a more inclusive and just better future, right? As we step into this post 2020 and post 20, I guess, halfway through 2021 world. And yeah, we're really excited to see all the solutions you come up with, because it's, as you can see, a very timely solution. And yeah, check out the chat for the more detailed product splash brief. There's more details on what exactly the problem statement is, as well as details on the deliverable. And yeah, check that out. And we'll also be linking that in Discord as well. Yeah, so I'll turn it over to Grace to talk about a lot of really exciting prizes that we have.
I realized I was muted again. But yeah, I'm so hyped for the theme. I'm so excited to see what y'all come up with. There's some really creative ideas and different directions you can go towards for healing during the pandemic. But definitely view the Zoom chat for the prompt, but this will probably be dropped again on Discord and everywhere. So make sure you'll never lose that. With that, we have prizes. But, as always, this is a program, a learning opportunity. So the real prize is the Fluffle Buds you made along the way. And you'll also get a lot of opportunities to attend workshops that you'll learn skills that are probably not taught in school, and network with professionals, with our mentors and speakers as well. So really the real prize is the unique opportunity and the people you meet, and the opportunity to pitch to design directors and senior managers and everything too. So yes, meet Fluffle Buds, but we always like to reward people who go the extra mile as well. I'm not sure, there's something on my screen, but I will remove that. But yeah, so our prizes, our judges will be design and product leadership and industry. So they'll get, by doing your project, they'll get to see all of your projects as well and get to know your name. So one of the most common questions I get is how to stand out. This is how you stand out and make a unique project from a program that they volunteered for. So drum roll. And so for first place, we get 1 year of free Adobe Creative Cloud for each team member. Thank you so much for Adobe for sponsoring this. And the Adobe Creative Cloud is not limited to first place. We'll actually have more, which I'll be announcing shortly, for more opportunities to get Adobe Creative Cloud. But this is for 1 whole year, which unlocks you all of the apps, and which includes Photoshop, Illustrator, the whole stock photo library, so everything. We also get $300 of seed funding to help y'all kickstart your project together. We hope to see you continue your projects beyond Product Splash and see it come to life. And we would just love to see it. So we want to support you on that. And you'll get Adobe Creative Cloud to also help you with that. And stay towards the end, because we'll have another way where any of you who are not in first place can win Creative Cloud, because we really want to give it away as many as possible. For second place, we have $200 for the team, if we can invest in your project. And for third place, $100. And right now, let me know in the chat if you are new to Discord, because I know based on my feedback, it might be a little bit confusing. So I'll just give a tour. So let me know in the chat if you're new to Discord, and I can know how detailed to be in the chat. So I'm going to share my screen, share to Discord. Very new to Discord, awesome. So during this tutorial, I'll be going over how you can make the most out of our Discord community and how you can use this to network with industry professionals, network with each other, and come away with connections that you never thought you'd meet if you didn't join Product Splash. So Discord is similar to Slack. It's kind of like Slack in the place where you have channels and different chat rooms, but it's more casual, it's more live. And so think of it as a chat room, kind of like many messenger rooms running live at the same time. During this time, feel free to let me know if you have any questions in the chat. I'll try to address them during live. So in here, we have our pages. We have all of our channels here. And this is about Product Splash. So brief description, some quick links to describe the website and everything where you can refer to. And so about organizers, I can see Design Buddies and Product Buds. You can connect with all of us as well, so you can learn more about our organizers. And this is actually one of the most important channels. This is where we'll be paying live announcements to everyone. So this is where Kelsey and I, or anyone from our organizing team, will announce important updates for y'all, so make sure you don't miss anything. So make sure you leave notifications on. As always, we have roles. Just make sure everyone has a good experience here. So I'm sure we want to encourage good Fluffle Bud behavior. So make sure to follow these rules. Thank you. Yeah. And we have role assignments. So this is my lovely Carlbot. So feel free to label yourselves. And this is kind of like making a mini bio, but making yourself like a designer, product manager, or engineer. So react in a role. And welcome, this is where you spawn, where everyone spawns in. And then this is where you can find all the event recording, including this one, which is actually unlisted on YouTube channel. So I'll be posting this afterwards as well. And then learning resources. So this is where anybody in our Product Splash community can post any resources they find helpful to help each other just learn more and level up each other even more. And I saw a question in the chat, having issues joining Discord through browser and downloading a mobile app. Discord is actually accessible in the browser as well. So in case you're having trouble downloading, you can also have it on the browser. And then this is intro. You can write a little bit about yourself. Maybe you're looking for a team. You can also specify here, but you can connect with everybody on LinkedIn and say you met each other through Product Splash and build up your connections that way, because you'll grow up together, level up, support each other through your career. So definitely connect with everyone in the chat as well. Everyone on this channel on LinkedIn, and say that you met each other through Product Splash. So connect with y'all. And general is where, well, you should come in Zoom. Anyways, general is where all the conversations happen. So feel free to talk about anything. Share your favorite boba flavors. Sometimes I drop random questions in the chat too. So this is where you can just engage, kind of like a hallway. And this is where you can share your work in progresses. So if you ever want to like flex something or work in progresses on anything, Product Splash project or anything, share it in here. And then these are like channels you can talk about design, product, and career. And then this, and also we have a cafe channel. So we might make a role for this, but if you want to co-work together, kind of like hanging out at a cafe on your project, you can hang out on the voice channel. Discord, they have live voice, video, and screen share at the same time. So you can utilize that, can have camera on it or anything to co-work with each other virtually too in our virtual cafe. And we also have a channel where you can ask us organizers anything. And then ask mentors, you can ask our mentors anything as they come into our channel. You can ask their feedback on anything as well. And this is where anybody in the community can chime in to get feedback. If you want to help each other out, you don't have to be a mentor. You can be a part of our Fluffle Bud community and just get feedback for people. And then we are currently populating our list of schedule for this right now, but we have mentors office hours sign up sheet. So we'll have that shortly, but then all the office hours will take place on Discord. You're limited to 10 for each office hour as well, 10 live. So make sure to keep out for that. But mentor office hours will be on Discord. It will not be on Zoom. It won't be on Meets. It will be on Discord. And this is where you can connect with all of our partners and sponsors. These are some off-topic channels. You can share your favorite jams, share your favorite memes, play with some bots. And fun fact, the more you talk in Design Buddies, the more you level up. So engage that chat community, the more you engage with our Fluffle Buds, the higher level you are. And I know a big thing about Discord is that you can get like 1 million notifications. So a way to like help you deal with that is if you control click on a channel, you can, I muted bots because it was just like too much going on. You can just like mute channel. So again, I just like right clicked on or control click, or maybe right click on Windows, control click on Mac, where you can mute channels. So that's just another way to help you not feel so overwhelmed with so many notifications. So you can make sure you keep Product Splash notifications on to not miss important announcements. And yeah, so that concludes my demo through Discord. And with that, I am going to, we have some Q&A section afterwards. So if you have more questions, definitely save it there for a while as well. Actually, we have our Q&A right now. So we have some time. You have 20 minutes left. So if anyone has any questions, if you prefer to raise your hand and ask them, let us know now. I might just stop sharing so we can see each other so I can make sure we're not missing anyone. Any questions? Questions for later. Do we start picking topics based on the overall theme during the pandemic? Yeah, so all of the subcategories and different ideas you can have are on that PDF. Mako has a question. Let me unmute.
Hi, I have a question for deliverable and at the end of this project. I want to make sure that I'm following the loop, like that what you guys expecting to, like, are we gonna submit the XD file for the prototyped XD file?
Yeah, Kelsey, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure thing. So actually, if you download the Product Splash brief PDF, enter in the chat, there's like a lot more details there, but essentially there's 3 main components of the final deliverable. The first one, as you mentioned, is the Adobe XD prototype. The second one would be a slide deck. So this is used kind of as a pitching device, right? So you're pitching your product essentially through these slides. And the third one is a written case study. And the written case study, more templates and like word limits will be provided for that later on, but just look out for that. That will also be something you'll submit. Yeah.
Awesome. I have this security thing. That's why when you unmute, if you raise your hand and ask, just make sure to don't unmute until you're done, because I realized that once you unmute, you can't mute again. But yeah, thank you so much for being on. So I see some really quick questions. I'm gonna answer them really quickly. Yeah, all the deadlines of our team are on announcements. Kelsey noted some instructions on our announcements channel and our Discord server. Let me know, let us know in the chat if you're not in Discord already. So we'll make sure to send it over to you. Everyone should have got the link in your confirmation email, so that's where you can find it as well. Yes, Kim asked, is there other ways to obtain free Adobe CC? Yes, let me actually bring up that slide, which takes me after the Q&A session, but Q&A doesn't stop here. But if you share your experiences, memories, like your takeaways from Brian's keynote or our opening ceremony, definitely share it on social media using hashtag product/2020 and make sure to tag both Design Buddies and Product Buds so we can make sure we don't miss it. This is way we can like reshare it on our Instagram stories, retweet it on Twitter, comment it on LinkedIn, highlight them as well. Enter you in a 1-year giveaway. So we have 6 total to give away for the rest of y'all. So every week we'll choose 1 or 2 people who post about us on social. So you can make your first, if you haven't done it already, you can post your acceptance ticket. We had a really, really competitive cohort. So it's huge honor that y'all made it in here today. So make sure to flex that with all your connections on LinkedIn and on Instagram too, and on Twitter. So make sure to flex that, tell your friends. And while you flex, you'll also get eligible to join, to get a 1-year Creative Cloud. And this is the same as a first place prize where you can have all the apps for 1 whole year, which is actually valued at like $300. So yeah, so no limitations there as well. So make sure to do that, product/2020. And yeah, and these are all of our social media links to tag as well. So feel free to take a screenshot of this if you want to tag us, but make sure to tag Design Buddies and Product Buds, mainly on LinkedIn, Instagram, and we also use Twitter. But I'm going to stop sharing so we have some more questions. I guess Kelsey and I can just alternate.
Yeah, I think the next question afterwards was, will we be sent the workshop schedule times next week? So we're going to be sharing the exact workshop times really soon through Discord. And yeah, you'll be sent like Luma invites. So we'll be sharing that very, very shortly, especially if it's like the week before that workshop happening, you'll definitely know when it is. Yeah, and then, yeah, could you share the link to access Discord again? I think like we're gonna try to cover that.
Yeah, I got the link.
Yeah. And then, oh yeah, Grace, do you want to answer are there deliverables for each week one?
Oh yeah, there's no deliverables for each week, just one at the end, but we strongly encourage you to start planning early and really, really honing your idea down and just learning during the first weeks. But for actually our topics during the workshops, like ideation or like prototyping, those are like recommended when you should start like prototyping ideas or doing every step of the process. So you can kind of follow the title of the workshops to get an idea of what you should be done each week, but no deliverables to turn in, just one at the end.
Can I quickly say something about that? So I know we don't have deliverables each week, but as what Grace mentioned earlier, we have 6 Adobe Suite licenses up for grabs each week. So as you're going through the program, reflect on what you're learning, whether it's the hard skills that you learned on the workshop or just the other soft skills that you learned while collaborating with your team. So as you're reflecting on those, share what you learn on social media. And you can also, if a lot of you here are using this as sort of like a starting point to break into product management or product design, reflecting on your experience going through this whole program will also help you come up with those interview answers if you're recruiting in the fall or in the coming months. So although there are no deliverables each week. We highly encourage you to be conscious, reflect on the experience, and share your insights on social media and tag us for a chance to win prizes as well.
Yeah, awesome. Did you also want to share anything else about social media?
Oh, no, that's it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I just shared the link to the Product Splash Discord and Zoom, so make sure to join.
Yeah, and then the next question, I think, about the prototype having to be in Adobe XD or whether or not people can use Figma. Do you want to answer that, Grace?
Yeah, so yes, because we're sponsored by Adobe XD, but the beauty of prototyping softwares is that once you learn one, it's really, really easy to pick up another one too. And depends on your employer as well. Like I know some teams at EA use Adobe XD, some teams at EA use Figma. So it will help in case you are feeling nervous because y'all don't know how to use Adobe XD. I feel like that's also a good skill to have in the industry as a designer or product manager, collaborating with designers in general too. And really making sure everyone gets free at least 3 months of Adobe XD, so you can do that. And Adobe XD has really, really cool and robust prototyping skills, prototyping resources and animation and even voice stuff as well, which Figma does not have. So yeah, that's another thing you can do with that. But yes, it is. And one of our deliverables is an Adobe XD prototype link.
Yeah, awesome. And then, so next question, what is the judging criteria? I think a couple of people asked about this. We won't be sharing the exact judging criteria or like the exact rubric we share with judges with participants, but we do have some pretty helpful guiding questions and pretty helpful like tips and tricks in the brief. So if you look at the brief PDF that we sent in the chat, there's a lot of like helpful guiding questions there, and going to the workshops and learning from these really inspiring actual PMs will also be obviously very, very helpful in guiding your thinking and knowing what to prioritize. Mentors are obviously also a good resource to get to know what the thought process and what the prototyping process should look like. Yeah.
Yeah, you can ask mentors about their experience working on projects, collaborating with PMs, or PM mentors collaborating with designers, and what their expectations were, and kind of go with there as well. So these are just like things that I was never taught in school that I should take advantage of while you have the resources.
Yeah, for sure. And then, yeah, in which channel is the PDF located? We'll be sending the PDF on Discord very soon. Right now it's in the Zoom chat. And then will there be calendar invites for every event sent in advance? Yeah, Grace, do you want to talk about Luma?
Yeah. So all of our events are hosted on Luma. We have both Product Buds and Design Buddies Luma as well. And we'll release the links very soon. And during Luma, we'll also send everyone who the email you use to sign up for Product Splash to fill out all the forms. We'll be inviting you on Luma. So you will receive calendar invites because Luma automatically generates that. So yes, you will. And I'll make sure to ping the same thing in Discord in case you check that more than email. So yeah, so it will be in your calendar.
Yeah, for sure. And then I think, yeah, thank you, Jack and Doris, for answering a few of the questions in the chat, by the way. The next one that I think hasn't been answered yet is how do we connect to a mentor other than office hours? So as Grace mentioned in the Discord walkthrough, there is like an Ask Mentors channel. So you can just pop any of the questions there. Unfortunately, our mentors won't be like live all the time since, they're also full-time, right? And they also, should get their chance to relax and all that. But we will be sending out what times they are available to give live office hours. And as we mentioned, there'll be 10 people in the office hours room at a time because we don't want to overwhelm them with tons of participants with questions, right? So yeah, that's basically how you would connect to the mentor. Then the next question is, are we designing apps or can it be websites or other digital products? So Grace, you want to take that one?
It can be anything, whatever you think with the pandemic. We want to give everyone creative freedom. So anything with healing the better. I can't say pandemic. It's a real tongue twister right there. But yeah, not limited to apps. It could be anything. Just with the XD.
Yeah, and then, the question that just came in, will teams developing functional apps on the theme have better chances to win? So the answer to that is definitely no, right? Like while we encourage you, to develop the project however much you would like as a team, the main takeaway that we'd like all participants to gain from this product splash experience is the conceptualizing, the prototyping, the design thinking process that PMs have to work on, right? Not necessarily the coding experience that you might have to produce the final app or the website. So, you're welcome to do so if you would like, but all the workshops will be on this design thinking process and, how like actual, prototypes work in the real world, right? And yeah.
Yeah. We also have our team formation event right after this at 6 p.m. So we have 8 more minutes of questions, but I saw a question that I scrolled up a while that we might have missed is, will we have to present our designs as a group or have a representative? I guess that's still up in the air, but we were presenting to during pitch day is if you can't make it, you can also always like do a recording because we're not going to force everyone to come because of different time zones and stuff. So we don't want to make that inaccessible. So yeah, that's still going to occur during pitch day where you'll be pitching to a bunch of design directors who are also hiring. So that's why we've been partnering with ADPS to find designers and product managers who are hiring to be our judges and people you'll be pitching to. So in case y'all are recruiting, that's a great way to stand out as a candidate too.
Yeah, for sure. And then let's see, what other questions? Will there be an initial submission of team ideas to prevent any duplication of ideas? So unfortunately, no. You'll be able to see, I guess, whatever people share on the work in progress. But we also do anticipate that because the prompt itself is so broad, you can really solve any problem that is related to healing from the pandemic and transitioning from this past year and a half. We don't really anticipate a lot of overlap there. So you don't have to worry too much about finding something that is very, very, very unique and very niche. Just focus on what your team is doing.
Yeah, I see a lot of questions about Adobe XD. So it is a 7-day trial right now, but I'm in contact with Adobe XD to give you all a free at least 3-month code. So that will be coming next week when they come back from PTO. But yeah, so make sure that that's available. So just so y'all know, Adobe recently put that new policy, so that is why, but we have connections to help y'all be able to access it for even more than the duration of this event. So yeah, just stay tuned for that. And it'll be announced on Discord, or probably email everyone about that. So we'll ping you in many, many ways. So make sure you don't miss that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, shout out to Grace for pulling through with all the Adobe XD stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But yeah, and then another question about, the product should work end to end, like again, emphasizing that this whole program is really about conceptualizing and prototyping, not necessarily about how well you can get the actual product to work. So no, it does not have to work end to end, and no, the product does not have to go live by any means. We just want you to have put thorough thought into the idea and done thorough research about the idea. Yeah,
and you also gain a lot of skills collaborating with the fellow product designers and product managers, because these are skills that people look for in interviews, how you work together with cross-functional teams, and skills that help you succeed in your real job too. So really focus on how you can work together to come up with a solution and balancing out the trade-offs, leading into everyone's strengths and weaknesses to work together on a product. And no need to code, no code needed. Don't worry. I know it kind of scares me a little bit too. So yeah, no need to worry about that.
Fluffle Buds, you didn't sign up for a technical boot camp, okay?
Yeah.
A product management and design program. And so what we really ask is for you to focus on, finding the right problem, really getting to know the user, the pain points, and then creatively coming up with a solution. What we ask though is that you come up with a working prototype, meaning, the screen should connect, right? That you can demo the prototype and it's easy for judges to review, but it doesn't have to be in code.
Yes. Yeah, 4 more minutes. I'm trying to make sure we didn't miss any question. If we did, just say it in the Zoom chat again, please. There's a lot of questions. 3 more minutes. If you would rather talk it out, raise your hand. I'm just scrolling up to make sure I didn't miss anything while scrolling on to see the new messages. Yes, Adobe XD is required, and we'll be giving you all a code to use it for free.
Oh yeah, and in terms of there being another opportunity to find a team, there actually is literally a team formation event right after this. We're going to be staying on the Zoom call. So in 3 minutes, if you're still here, you're welcome to join us for a team formation event. Basically, it's going to be like a speed friending type of event where you get to meet a lot of participants who are also looking for teammates, and it's super exciting to just get to meet other people in the cohort. Yeah. And then, let's see, will we be conducting our own studies or dependent on secondary research? Yeah, so you're welcome to do both, because, to do the preliminary problem validation, right? Like when you're actually looking at whether or not it is a problem, sometimes you don't have time to go out and do a whole user research study with hundreds of participants, right? So, obviously secondary research is very important. But at the same time, you're also welcome, of course, to interview people throughout your 5 weeks to test your idea with possible users. So you're welcome to do both as it fits your project. And then
Yeah,
are there
design
any
buddies? Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna read the second question, but no.
Yeah, another resource for all of y'all is actually in Design Buddies, we have a surveys and research channel where you can recruit user testing in our about 25K community. So that's another resource y'all can utilize and also help each other out. And you can help each other do your user testing or user research interviews together as well. So with different teams. So really strongly encourage everyone to collaborate. It's really not a competition, but it's just about who can work together to learn the most together. So you can help each other out, mutually fill out surveys or leverage Design Buddies for that other pool of people you can survey from.
Or you can tap into your own network as well. So posting it on your own LinkedIn, on your other social media channels. I'm sure your network would be happy to help answer those surveys if they fit your user profile.
Yeah, and then so the next question, are there any recommended subtopics under the theme, or do we need to design per our understanding? There are some like guiding questions in the topic brief. Again, we'll share that in Discord shortly if it's currently in the Zoom chat if you scroll all the way up. But there are some subtopics that we, just wrote up if you can't think of anything, but you're more than welcome to choose anything that your team feels fits the wider topic. And then really quick, does each team have a certain mix of roles, or can we theoretically have 4 PMs in a team? You can have whatever mix of roles you would like in a team. Again, this whole experience is about a collaboration. So you're welcome to have as many designers as you want, as many PMs as you want, as long as you have 3 to 4 people on the team.
Ideally, you want a mix. Again, if you want to use this for experience for breaking into product management or product design, sometimes a question they would ask you is, tell me about a time you worked with a designer or you had a conflict with a designer, say if you're a PM, and vice versa, right? If you're a designer, how did you manage expectations with your product management counterpart? So the more you can turn this into like a real life, hands-on learning experience, the more this can help you get you a step closer into your desired career as well, if you're transitioning.
And about office hours, and yes, definitely that collaboration is huge. Like people don't teach you that in school, so definitely try to use Product Slash to gain that experience. And about mentor office hours, yes, that's coming soon next week. We actually have a deadline for mentors to enter their hours by the end of this weekend, so that will be shared, and I'll make sure it gets to you all via email and on Discord too.
Yeah, and then last question about the certificate at the end of the 5-week course. Yes, we are happy to provide, certificates. Yeah, because all of you have obviously worked pretty hard will work pretty hard over these next 5 weeks. So yeah, and with that, we're going to transition into our team formation event. So if you already have a team, you're welcome to leave the call, or we'll give time back. And again, yeah, thank you so much, Brian, for that amazing keynote. And thank you all for joining us for our opening ceremony. So stick around if you want to meet and network with participants.
Yeah, and you're welcome to put your certificate of Product Splash in your award section on LinkedIn as well. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to end the live stream and I'm going to share it in case y'all missed part of it. I'm going to be on Discord right now, so share it right now. Anyways, bye YouTube buddies.